Today we'll be reviewing Scott's Belgian Dark Strong Ale. So Scott, this is your Belgian Dark Strong Ale. How old is this beer?
It's about 4 months old.
4 months old. So would you age this longer than 4 months, or did you just happen to consume it a lot faster than 4 months because it was so delicious?
Yeah, I would say that I was planning on aging it a lot longer and actually putting it and bottling it, but I tasted it and it tasted really good, so I put it on tap, and this is the last 2 snifters of it.
Well, color-wise, it's pretty opaque, ruby red highlights, thin tan head, slightly white, but in this light, more off-white than anything else. Maybe some plum and raisin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could definitely pick up some plum and raisin. Almost a Werther's Original toffee caramel flavor.
I used a pound of Belgian candy sugar as well. I think that really brought out the candy sweetness.
Was that in a 5-gallon or 10-gallon batch?
That was 10 gallons.
10-gallon batch. Okay, so 1 pound of 80 Lovibond, 60 Lovibond.
1 pound of 80 Lovibond, and...
Now, did you use the rocks or the liquid syrup?
I used the liquid syrup.
Liquid syrup.
I've never used either one before. I figured the syrup would dilute a little better.
Okay.
And then I used 2 pounds of raw turbinado sugar.
Turbinado sugar, okay. Where did you happen to pick that up from?
Got it at St. Louis Wine and Beer Making.
Okay. What was your fermentation temperature?
Well, for the first 2 weeks, I guess you'd say primary, it was about 66, 67. I fermented down here in, it was March when I made the beer.
Okay.
So it was about mid-60s, and I had it down here for 2 weeks with a blow-off hose because it is a 1098 beer.
Very nice.
And after the primary fermentation, I moved it upstairs, which is about 70 to 75.
What made you decide on the grains that you used?
Well, really cost was the biggest concern because the European grains that are imported are really, really expensive. So,
absolutely.
So I used, an American Pilsner as the base. I think actually it was a Canadian Pilsner. I think
okay.
It was Raw or Canada Malting Company.
Both good malts.
And I used the other part of my base was a Munich malt, and I believe that was Canada Malting Company as well.
Okay.
Talking about the 2 different grains,
yeah.
It could be a cost difference of $15 to $20 a bag.
Absolutely. And you've already had to pay the extra expense from most batches by buying sugar and acquiring a special
right.
yeast. So let's talk about the yeast real quick. Where did you get the yeast from?
From you, actually.
It was a blend of 2 different Belgian strains that aren't necessarily available to most homebrewers. They were purchased from Brewing Science Institute. But I would say if you wanted to get a close character to what Scott has, you could blend your favorite Abbey strain with a Trappish strain or Belgian High Gravity, whatever your taste preferences actually allow for. Well, Scott, cheers. Great beer.
Thank you. For further information on my recipe for my Belgian Strong Dark, you can go to www.graintoglass.com and look up the recipe section.